Hey everyone, this is still Nikki in Japan, and I'd like to update you on what I've been doing with my life. For the past months, I've been applying to several programs at Erasmus Mundus. So, for those of you who do not know what Erasmus Mundus is, it's a scholarship program offered by the European Union, and it's a very interesting program because it has, I think, joint masters. So that means you get multiple certificates from different universities. So I think the way they designed this is that there will be like at least three partner schools per program. So that implies you get to study to three different universities for the whole duration of the program. And those universities could be in different parts of Europe. So I have been applying to several actually for the past months, and I've applied to a total of 8. I have been shortlisted, or at least not shortlisted, but like I have been accepted to the formal review of 3 of those programs so far. And I'll give you an overview of what I did in the application. It was very straightforward. So what I did was I basically Googled Erasmus Mundus. I've been hearing about this from upperclassmen from my university back in the Philippines. And I know like some of my upperclassmen have joined this program in the past, but I just like in the past I just didn't have the heart to apply because I felt like I'm not enough yet. Anyway, so application. So I Googled the program, so I went to the website Erasmus Mundus. Afterwards, you will see the catalog, like the programs, the list of programs that they have. And so I shortlisted the ones that I feel like I'm qualified to apply for. So basically, I focused because I have background in physics, material science, and energy engineering. I focus on programs focusing on physics, material science, and sustainability. So energy science, because I have backgrounds in that. I've also shortlisted the ones with having to do with environmental science or sustainability and management because I have like a solid work experience at this point. I have like more than 8 years of work experience by now. And I've been doing mostly business development, business consultancy, and management. I'm also doing MBA right now, so I feel like I'm qualified to apply for management courses at this point, even though I didn't have any academic background related to management or business ad. But yeah, I'm doing MBA, so I think I'm good. Anyway, so application. I think my bottleneck during the application was the references, like recommendation. So I wanted to apply to a total of 8 programs, and I wanted to ask professors to write recommendations for me. So to make things easy, I drafted the recommendation for them, and I shared that with them so that they could tweak it or edit it or whatever before they submit it to the portal. So in total, I had like 8 applications, right? And I felt like, so what I did was I only asked one professor to write a recommendation for me for one program. So in total, I asked 16 professors to write recommendations for me. So that one is a tough cookie because first, it's like there's like a lot of back and forth communication between me and my professor because I have to check whether they're free or whether they're willing to write a recommendation for me. I'm lucky because I think of all the professors that I asked to write for me, most of them responded very fast, and it was easy because I also drafted the recommendations that at least they would have like a basis on like what to write on. So I offer them that. So make it easy for them. So like don't hassle their lives. So write down a draft for them to look through. So that's what I did. And yeah. So that was a bottleneck because again, there's like a lot of back and forth comms with my professors. Although they're willing to, they all live a busy lives because they're in the university, right? So probably a lot 1 month before the deadline of submission so that they'd have enough time to go through your material. They'd have enough time. And what I did also was I also sent them my transcript, my grades, so that they'd know or they'd remember who I was back then. And I didn't actually expect them to remember me because I've graduated for such a long time now. Like I've graduated 8 years ago, 10 years ago, so they probably don't remember me anymore, and that's fine. So that's why I wrote a recommendation, a draft for them to go through. I also sent them my resume and my transcript of records and the grades that I got from them, but like the grades that they gave me when they taught me in their courses. So yeah, that's what I did for the application. Another important thing is if you come from if you graduated from a university that used English as a medium of instruction, it might be worthy to ask a certificate from your university because some programs allow that instead of an IELTS or TOEFL result. So I didn't have to take IELTS and TOEFL. Also at the same time, I come from the Philippines and we're pretty fluent in English. So actually English is like one of our official languages. And some programs recognize that. So it really helps if you come from a country where English is an official language, some programs do not require you for a TOEFL or IELTS exam anymore. Yeah, so basically those are the heavy points. The others are that you have to prepare for would be your documentation from your university, like transcript of records or diploma, certificates, and so on. Another thing that are heavy on the program would be the motivation statement. So I think the reason why these programs require students to submit a letter of motivation is basically to check whether the students can write in English, because all of the programs offer that Erasmus will be done in English. Some programs also ask for a video introduction. So I think they wanted to check whether you can speak English or not. So I did that as well. But all in all, those are the requirements, the basic requirements on the application. So after you submit all of those documentation in the portal, some programs will ask you for an interview. So again, out of the 8 programs that I applied for, 3 of them already confirmed that they have done the formal review and they've accepted all of my documents. So I'm good on paper screening from those 3 programs. So it's like late February now, and the deadlines are usually end of February or mid-January. So I've passed, at least for among the 8 programs, 3 of them already confirmed that my documents are good. So one of them, though, asked me to attend a formal interview. So let me just talk about what happened in the formal interview. In the formal interview, how do I say this?